Hello, hello, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV. Hopefully I've got sound this time. Sorry about the last two videos. I assume what happened is, even though I logged out completely and closed Final Fantasy XIV, after my last controller died, it still died with the mic technically active, which made the system register the mic as being active still. So even when I plugged it into the next controller and relogged in and started everything up, I had no notification of whether I had microphone or not. And so the Amarat dungeon and the Hades fight are completely bereft of commentary. But I uploaded the footage anyway because, one, I couldn't remember the commentary since it's unscripted, and two, I didn't really speak too much because there's a lot of voice acting, and I don't want to ruin it. About all you missed was in the Amarat dungeon, I said that it was pretty neat that some of the trash monsters latch onto DPS or healers, and because basically identify themselves as problem monsters. And of course I had a whole spiel during the credits about what I liked about Shadowbringers and what I didn't like, and honestly, it's not that big of a deal. I just find it interesting that this I keep fucking up at the main storyline videos somehow. Like, it just without fail. Heavensward it happened. I don't think it happened in Stormblood, but it's it's annoying. Anywho, let's report to Tataru. Nah, it's a ghost. I'm a ghost. You're hallucinating. Haha, time shenanigans. We did call in an old friend to help out, huh? You talking about Estinian? Fully fledged level 80s now, and we can start unlocking all of the content that's actually current. Oblivion has claimed him. Emet-Selch gone. La Habrea gone. I alone remain, the last of the unbroken. Once more, I am moved to reevaluate the potential of these tattered souls. Ah, Xenos, never did I dream you could overpower me so completely, possessed as I was of your body and all its uncanny strength. And now that I have shared with you the truth of this world and its reflections, who can predict how events will unfold? Not I. Emissary, what a poor jest that title has become. The flow of history has become muddled, its currents wild beyond my capacity to direct them. You have wrested the advantage, Heidelin. The thieving hands of your disciples tightens their grip on our star. The origins of the world remain hidden, and its inhabitants ignorant of their broken existence, just as you and your creators desired. They celebrate the gift of imperfect life, uncaring, unknowing, as we weaken and fade. But do not imagine yourself rid of us. Though your champion has indeed proven the most egregious obstacle to our ascendance, a barbed thorn in my side, he may yet be removed and cast into the abyss. Oh yes, it can be done. I will keep these heroes mired in the first, and victory will be ours at the last. Warriors of darkness now, are they? Then their fate is decided. Then they shall meet the same end as those who came before, death at the hands of warriors of light. Remember a time when he was all like, I'm a peaceful emissary, and I'm not here to do no violence? Seems you were right. Yes, there is something out there. But it would mean crossing malms and malms of this infernal emptiness, which is rather unhealthy for living creatures, as I understand it. Even were we to restrict ourselves to brief forays, I don't like to imagine the effect it would have on our ether. But you still want to go, don't you? We may have saved this world, but we haven't reclaimed it. That's what family is for, isn't it? He basically just admitted that he's her dad. Anybody seen that shape somewhere before? Though blazing skies give way to gentle night, what hand can end the war of dark and light? Shantato, is that you? Swing. Shake and resolve, huh? Let's see, we got Riol over here. I don't blame you, Riol. Their bodies are as well as can be. Okay. Doesn't look like anybody else. Oh wait, there's Isildur and Alianne. Arenvald and his fellow primal hunters have upheld the peace while you've been away. You got anything to say, buddy? I guess not. Maybe he'll have something to say a little later on, though. Other than main story, stuff that's related to the 80 cap I'll be doing, of course. There's currently two 24-man raids out, which are a crossover event, actually, with Nier Automata and Nier Auto Tomato. And then there's going to be a regular raid that we'll do for the storyline purposes. And we've got five dungeons at level 80 to do now. So that'll be cool. So your daughter got into the belly of a 16-year-old girl, and now the 16-year-old girl is basically, you know, got her soul. Yep. Sure thing. I think she'll understand the sentiment, but she doesn't know who the fuck you are, though, so... Hey, it's real! Well, it ain't as if we can ask Tancred to do it. Besides, I shouldn't have no trouble picking my way through the gimlet now that the fighting's died down. Kryle's at the stones, huh? Something to do with the patience, huh? We've got danger music here. I still find Mordona to be really charming, or at least, I mean, Revenant's Toll. This is very, very charming to me. Huh. Also, I guess since we're level 80 now and 4 different jobs, we can actually do level 80 job quests to tie up their storylines. Some of them are good, and some of them I actually haven't seen yet. I haven't seen Red Mages yet, so it's mildly interesting.
You're here. Good.
So, how are they?
Still locked in slumber, but otherwise in good physical health. For the present, at least.
For the present? Oh no, is something wrong with them?
I'm afraid there may be. I summoned you after detecting faint signs of instability in Thancred's corporeal ether. But subsequent examination suggested all 5 might be affected. And when I examined them just now, my fears were confirmed. Tellingly, the degree of instability varies between them. Thancred exhibits the most notable signs, followed by Y'shtola and Urianger. The twins' ether, meanwhile, remains relatively stable, but there is a change there too if one knows to look for it.
Hold on. Isn't that the order they were called away in?
Indeed. Which leads me to believe the instability will only increase with time. Though I can but speculate, I fear this may be a symptom of a weakening link between body and soul.
By the gods! What happens if the link is broken?
I cannot say for certain. This is all unknown territory to us. Yet whatever happens, it cannot be good. Mercifully, the instability is still only slight. And you may rest assured, Master Matoya and I will do everything in our power to keep it from worsening.
Seems
Be
legit.
that as it may, it is imperative that you find a way to restore our friends' souls to their bodies. I realize you've only just returned from saving 2 worlds, but time is not on our side.
But where's he even supposed to start? We had the greatest minds in the realm hunting high and low for an answer, and they ran out of places to look.
You stated in your report that the Exarch had originally intended to reverse the summoning process by means of his own death, correct? Raha always was a reckless young fool, ready to die for the first righteous cause that came along. His plan might well have worked, but I for one am glad he never had the opportunity to see it through. Even if it does mean our friends must remain stranded a while longer. There is another way, I am sure of it. And the key lies with him, with the Exarch. Pray return to the First and apprise him and the others of the situation. We, meanwhile, will do what we can from here. And, if the fates are kind, we will have good news to share upon your return.
Okie dokie. Well. We could just teleport straight over to the Crystarium, but then we'd have to actually walk all the way to the Ocular anyway and talk to the guard. It's not really any faster at this point. I mean, it might be slightly faster because we'll go through one less loading screen from loading, back into Mordona and then loading into the Circus Trench and then loading into the Ocular, as opposed to loading into the Crystarium and then running over and loading into the Ocular. But, meh. Different boats for different folks. Yep, I sure did need that beacon again. Nope.
Pray excuse my late arrival.
Will Thancred and Reen not be joining us?
Nay, milady. With apologies to all, they beg leave to pursue their investigation of the empty to its conclusion. Should matters here demand their presence, however, they did assure me that they would make themselves available.
Yes, of course. Then let us proceed. I think it best that you begin by providing a summary of Mistress Kryle's findings.
Your souls and your bodies aren't really sticking together anymore, so your bodies are gonna die if you stay here.
I suppose it was only to be expected that some change would occur.
Yet our souls seem unaffected, to my eye at least. How long they will remain so is another question. Kryle is right. It is imperative we find a way to return to the source.
Perhaps an explanation of the method by which I brought you here will yield some inspiration. Ere I begin, it must be noted that I am by no means a gifted mage. In order to employ powerful magics, I must rely upon the Crystal Tower and its boundless reservoirs of energy. The magic that summoned you was no exception. 'Tis a singular spell, adapted through painstaking effort from the technique that transported me to the First. To use an analogy, it works by cutting a hole in the fabric of reality. A hole tailored to the object of summoning, through which it and it alone may pass unscathed. Though I succeeded in creating said hole, I failed to latch onto my intended target. Instead of you, the spell found those close to you, and ended up summoning them in their incomplete state. I would not soon throw my life away, not after the lengths you and yours went to save it. And so long as I breathe, I will spare no effort to see you safely home. But should all else fail, and your lives be at stake, there remains one sure method.
Oh! What was that for?
How can you even entertain such thoughts? You owe your life to the Warrior of Light, and you don't get to die unless he says so.
Your followers await your divine judgment.
What did you do?
If the two of you have finished, perhaps we could return to our discussion? Rather than dwelling upon the multiple failed attempts at transference, I think it would behoove us to focus on the solitary success. I would draw your attention to the fact that our friend can travel between worlds possessed not only of his body and soul, but his personal effects besides. This is no different from the teleportation magics to which we are all accustomed. Magics that allow for the transportation of those inanimate objects one considers to be an extension of oneself.
Are you suggesting that simply by considering us his possessions, he could carry our souls back to the source upon his person?
Well, it would be nice if things were that simple for a change.
What the fuck?
Vague notions of ownership seem a rather tenuous thing to stake our lives on. So much as a moment of doubt on his part, and we'd be left floating in the rift.
Milady hath the right of it. The requisite fixity of belief would be too much to ask even of our friend. Yet, were we to immure our souls within an object in his possession, mayhap then our safe passage could be assured. White Auracite would, I believe, serve as a suitable vessel for this purpose. It was conceived to imprison the massy soul of an Ascian, and should house one of ours with relative ease.
A massy soul, huh?
We would need only to ensure our soul's safe preservation inside the stone, and identify a means by which they might be transferred back onto our vacant bodies.
Soul preservation and transference. I believe I know of someone who may be able to assist us.
You do?
On the far shore of the source, there stands a great palace built by the elves.
There is?
It was forsaken in the wake of the flood, but a certain Numo chose to make their home there soon after. Though they have long lived as a recluse, they once occupied a place of honor in Verbert's royal court, and it is said that none in all of Norvrant is more knowledgeable than they on matters of the soul.
Well, I've no objection to seeking a helping hand, but if they've gone to such lengths to hide themselves away from the world, what makes you think they'd be willing to lend us one?
A worthy question. Years ago, I myself tried and failed to solicit their cooperation in the battle against the Sin Eaters. No sooner had I begun to make my plea than they unleashed a swarm of their familiars upon me. Unlike me, however, you have curried favor with the Fae folk. By that merit alone, I am hopeful that they would grant you an audience. They may still be inclined to turn you away, of course, but if their knowledge might feasibly facilitate your return home, we have to try.
Guess we'll just take the oysters on the half shell. I'd take the money, but it's only 500 gil per thing, so like the food is actually more valuable for a change. Grand adventure, huh? A warm reception, huh? What, is he gonna, like, hit us with a fireball? Well, as it goes with every other plateau in this game, we now have a ton of shit to unlock. One at a time. So, I'm going to try to focus this video on unlocking as much as possible. Although some of the things I want to unlock aren't going to be possible to unlock just yet. Mainly due to the fact that okay. Okay. I don't know why that had a, blue plus... I guess maybe if you're a fisher that you would really care about the weather, because weather does affect fishing in this game, as far as I remember, but it doesn't really affect much else, so... By the time you hear this, huh? Yeah, sure thing. Although, there is one other thing I want to do real quick. You notice we never got a belt upgrade. And though it's not really that much, grabbing a Ronkin belt of Fending would probably be advisable. I probably should have done that before I was finishing things up. But, well, sometimes I forget that you can actually get slightly better than base gear at the hunt place, so that makes everything a little bit better. Now, the first has a Yoshi P counterpart, and it's the Minstrelling Wanderer. And every trial you've done, he will have an extreme mode version of it. So every time you complete a trial in Shadowbringers, just come talk to this guy and you can unlock the extremes. Oh yeah, sure, you never met him, uh-huh. Uh-huh, yeah, uh-huh. Whatever. I guess I'll let him sing his song about it or whatever. Kept it nice and brief. I like that. Except now he's talking my ear off. And the Dancing Plague Extreme, it drops item level 450 weapons. So those were the best weapons you could get when Shadowbringers was new. Innocence drops I-450 accessories minus belt. So those were the best accessories you could get. Although they came out with 450 crafted accessories by the time they came out with the raid, so eventually that they weren't, but I mean, at the start they were, so. Dicks. Alright. I don't really plan to show these extremes off at all. Since they're current, I'd have to actually like make a group for them. And I'd want to actually have Clyde geared out to at least item level 480 so that he doesn't look like a scrub. Even though the gear he has right now is more than enough for all of them. Although his left side gear does leave a little bit to be desired. And the materia that I have in all of his gear actually does suck, but that's because all of his gear is transitory and will eventually be upgraded. It's actually a really simple matter to gear right now. There are so many ways, and not in this recording, but perhaps in the next one. I'm going to be showing how you can move on to get the Shadowbringer's relic, which actually takes place on the source. And in relation to the Shadowbringer's relic, you can get armor that is item level 495, which is only 5 item levels lower than the best gear you can get. With the added bonus that there's no weekly limitation on it. So you can just, if you've got the time to pour into the event that gives it to you, you can get all of the gear and completely deck yourself out in item level 495. The only thing about it, I think, is I don't think there's a belt for it, and there are no accessories. So it's whatever. But we're going to have other methods of upgrading our accessories. For one, there's new weekly capped tomes of allegory, that we'll be able to use to buy item level 490 gear. And then when we do the 24-man raids, we can buy upgrade items with the coins to upgrade that gear to item level 500. So we'll be able to catch Clyde's item level up pretty quickly. Hey, I thought you were out exploring the empty desert. Now, you think I'm going to tell you no? Uh-oh, danger music. Another light warden, huh? And obviously, this raid that's related to Reen, that's also another way you can start gearing up. The first 4 floors drop I-450 gear, including accessories and belts. No weapons. And then the second 4 drop I-480 gear. And that will, of course, unlock Savage. So that's all pretty cool. We have this neat side quest down here that we're also going to pick up eventually. It's related to the role quests. It will only appear if you've done all 4. So we're going to hop on that too. There's a lot of stuff for us to just hop on now. It'll be over before we know it though. The twinning. Sorry I went through her dialogue a little bit fast, but she's saying that basically stuff in the Crystal Tower has started to wake up in the basement. We gotta go in there and check it out for her. And that's deeply related to the alternate future. I guess I'll go out here and go ahead and try to advance the main storyline. Another dungeon we can unlock is unlocked in Yulemore, and that dungeon actually takes place in the Tempest. And then the other 3 dungeons that are related to Shadowbringer's main story, they're all locked behind story. In Shadowbringers, they really trimmed down the number of dungeons. We got 3 at level 80, including Amarat, and then there's been 1 per major patch instead of 2. So there really isn't a lot of dungeons to do at all. Although there will be some more trials to do, and the other trials that we'll have access to are actually on the source, and they're Final Fantasy VII references. The one I'm currently thinking about as I say this is the Rui weapon, and that has its own whole quest line to it. And there's also an instance battle with the Sapphire weapon, but it doesn't get a full trial of its own. Sad face. But. Could be worse. It's also going to be sort of choppy again, like most of this Let's Plays, man. So much starts happening that I sort of lose track of where time is going because I'm not thinking about a certain order of events. I don't know why Yashola would even hazard a guess. Like, you not realize glamours exist all of a sudden? Like, come on now. Seems legit, I guess. Hey, he's copying me. Well, of course he is. He wants to go on an adventure with Clyde. Alpha Note is ragging on the Warrior of Light fans. Clyde's like, I never been so liked before. Now this dungeon didn't actually come out until 5.1, and we can use trusts for it. So I will be doing that, but probably next time. Huh, I guess that would be the last time we did a dungeon together without you actually being a trust. Let's see. Let's see if we can't go over to Yulemore, and I'll show you some things depending on how fast we load in. I'm pretty sure we're about 40 minutes into the recording, maybe 42-ish or something like that. I think we got like 15 minutes left anyway. Something like that. Oh. And again, I apologize for the last two videos being silent other than the game and the voice acting. I can't make any promises that it'll never happen again, because, well, no matter how hard I seem to try, I just occasionally make mistakes. But anyway, we got Phantasmagoria gear that we could start buying eventually. There's really no point in getting it though, it's only item level 460. The only reason you'd really want it is for glamour, right? See, it looks pretty cool, right? Like, dark armor, obsessed with the skirts again, etc., etc. But you're better off saving up your Phantasmagoria for different upgrade items, for crafted gear. You can actually augment crafted gear, just like in thing. So only thing you really want to care about is this Crystarium gear. So I'll probably be buying Clyde a belt or something and upgrading it with the 24-man thing. You trade in your 24-man coins right here, and any totem gear. It's in Glorious Gigas. And then you augment purchased gear, tombstone gear there. And then on the far right, he doesn't appear for Clyde yet because we haven't been there, but a Mord, a kobold will eventually appear to let you buy raid gear. So Yulemore is the in-game hub. Over here, we can trade in high-quality gear and Phantasmagoria tombstones to get these upgrade reins. And that'll let us upgrade any and all of this to item level 490. So that'll be pretty useful. Let's see. We want to go to the southeast derelicts, I think. Yep. I love when I can actually remember where to teleport to. Academia Aniter, huh? That was one of the bureaus in Amarat. Huh. Oh, that would be a World Fate boss, Archaeotania. We haven't seen it because the World Fate only spawns like once a day or whatever. It's a pretty cool World Fate, honestly, but there's not a whole lot of reason to do it. And it's also a Final Fantasy V reference. But basically what he wants us to do is go and see if we can find out where it came from. And if anyone knows a means to stop it in the City of the Ancients. So that'll lead us to unlocking another level 80 dungeon, the Academia Aniter. And the Twinning and the Academia Uniter, those are the starter expert dungeons, so they're at the same difficulty level as Amarot. Stuff hits slightly harder and is different, but they still only drop item level 430 accessories. So they're pretty useless in terms of gearing up, but I mean, there's something to do, so we will be doing them eventually. Training methods of the Ilmoran army, huh? Well, if you haven't put 2 and 2 together yet, this is basically Shadowbringer's Stone Sea Sky. And it's worth doing. It's pretty fun. You know, it's always fun to break a test dummy and know for sure that you're like 18 seconds beyond your DPS check or whatever for whatever job you're playing. Also, Kalusia now has a new daytime theme. Won't be able to hear it right here because this has like a town theme going for it or whatever, but I highly recommend, if you want to get into Savage or anything like that, that you unlock the Stone Sea Sky for Shadowbringers and break the dummy for the fight that you're interested in doing. Or, you know, just break the highest current Savage tier dummy when you unlock it. So that, you know that you're good at doing your DPS rotation. Of course, obviously breaking the dummy doesn't really prove a whole lot because you still have to adapt being able to do that level of DPS to fight mechanics and stuff, but I'm just saying. Let's see. Let you hear this Kalusia theme a little bit. And there should be a quest up here somewhere that lets us unlock the 24-man raids. Oh hey, look, a hunt mark. We might as well. I don't want to interrupt the music though. Ah, whatever. Oh, that was a pleasant surprise. We can actually pick up another one, since it's the daily reset, or weekly reset today. I guess we might have to do some side quests up here in Tamra. Because we need to... We'll have to do them to unlock the 24-man raids, I think. The 24-man raids, they deal with the Gogs or whatever, the Gog Dwarf tribe over here, and I guess we'll have to go up there and figure it out. I highly recommend doing the 24-man raids. They're a good learning experience. They're fun. Their battle mechanics are very fun. The story this time around is kind of shit because it's Nier Automata, but that's just my opinion. So I probably just like offended anyone that actually plays 14 that's watching. Yeah, we might as well get EXP while we can on Sam. So we'll check that out too. And probably at some point I'll unlock flying around here. And in all the other zones too. I'm pretty lazy about that because, as I've said in the past, you know, you don't need it at all because for doing the main story, because you can't unlock it till you reach the last main story quest. I hate stuff that aggroes and ruins the zone music. I should disable battle music when I'm in Colossia or something. Bloody annoying. Kind of makes me think of the Turning Mist theme. And I really, really adore it. At first, when Shadowbringers was new, I would just keep going to Ilmeg, but eventually Ilmeg is like, it's too repetitive. And then unexpectedly I was just AFK like looking at Facebook or something, and the daytime theme got to that point where it gets really uplifting, and I don't know, I was like, oh man, I'm in love with this Colosseum music. Big sight watch, huh? I can neither confirm nor deny the existence of a new discovery of untold value that only a select few are allowed to see for themselves. You, the imbecile, give me, the guard, 10,000 gil. Then you, the imbecile, get to walk past me, the guard, and see the amazing find. Got it? Lally, what in the blazing hell do you think you're doing, man-ho? How's Clyde gonna fit through the door anyway? Yo, give me permission, you midget. Anog and Konog, huh? Not sure how I feel about these Gogs. White and black dwarf, huh? There's one girl, one boy? Yin Yang dwarves? Powerful neck muscles sculpted by a lifetime of nodding? Okay, sister. So the white one is a girl. Brother, and the black one is a boy. We got Yin Yang dwarves, people. So I'm to be your patsy. Everyone knows you're a soul of generosity, a sinner who cannot help but render to his aid to his fellow sinner in his hour of need. You taking advantage of Clyde? Look at the dev